Right. Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to another live stream here on Woo English. As always, my name is Hamza, and I will be your host, as I always do on this channel. So today's topic will be very, very special one, actually, and it is talking about culture. Let me just make this bigger. So today we will see how can we talk about culture. We will see different words related to culture, and also we'll do some different activities around this topic. So I think I will wait for more people to join because I see no one is here. I see a wonderful message in Spanish. I can't understand Spanish. I don't read Spanish, but I can understand that this message is telling us that they appreciate our work. So it's from Maria Elena. So Maria Elena, thank you so much for your beautiful message. So I will wait. And as I said, today we'll be talking about. So today, of course, is Wednesday. So we'll be having a vocabulary session, and it will be about talking about culture. How can we talk about culture? All right. So I see more people are joining. So hello, hello, and welcome. Oh, how is the weather where you guys are? How is the weather? Let me know in the chat because I'm very interested in the weather. Here where I am, I'm streaming from Morocco, and the weather here is very sunny. It's sunny actually. Pamela is here. Hello, hello, Pamela. Welcome. How are you? So yeah, today we'll be talking about culture. Very interesting topic. Li Payo. Oh yeah, I've heard there was like an earthquake. Is it Taiwan, right? Taiwan earthquake. Was there an earthquake in Taiwan this morning? Yeah, yeah, there was a Taiwan. I hope you guys are safe because there was an earthquake on Taiwan in Taiwan. Yeah, yep, I've heard about it this morning. I hope you guys are safe. I hope everything is good. Yeah, this is what happened. This is what happened today in Taiwan. So it's 7.4. It's a really strong one. So I hope biggest earthquake in 25 years. Wow, that sounds like too much. All right, I hope you guys are safe. Yeah. So there are dead people. Unfortunately, there are dead people. Yeah. So I'm sorry for that. I hope you guys are safe. And yeah, that's all I can say. Uh, in Morocco, we had like a huge earthquake back in September, and it was one of the biggest earthquakes in Morocco. No, not September, in November, I think. It was the 9th of November, if I remember well. And it was one of the biggest earthquakes since the 1960. It was like 1960. We didn't see any earthquake like that. So, yeah, the Earth seems to be very active this year, it looks like. So, I hope you guys are safe. I hope everything is okay with you. All right, shall we start? I think we shall start talking about our topic. So, yeah, let's look at the first thing that we are going to cover today. Okay, so we are going to talk. The first thing that we are going to talk about are the parts or the elements of culture. We all have our own cultures. We have different cultures, so each country has its own culture. So, but each culture is made up of different things. Do you know some of the things that your culture is made up of, or any culture is made up of? So, what is a culture? Because this is part of the definition of what a culture is, by the way. So, what are the culture or the elements of culture that you guys are familiar with? Let me know in the chat. You can mention one, you can mention two, you can mention just the ones that you are familiar with. Because as they said, culture is not one thing. Culture is like a lot of things that makes a country or makes a society special. Moroccan culture, for example, the elements of the Moroccan culture are different from the elements of the French culture, are different from the elements of the American culture, the British culture, the Thai culture, the Indian culture, the Chinese culture, the Japanese culture, the Sudanese culture, etc., etc. So, what are some parts, some elements of cultures that you guys are familiar with? Let me know. I will wait. I'm waiting. Any answers? Okay, great, great. Okay, now we are talking. So Lee Bio says we have a language. I completely agree with you. The first known thing about the Egyptian culture is the hospitality. Ragda Saber, great, Ragda, great. So you are from Egypt, absolutely. Actually, all Arab cultures are known for their hospitality. I agree with you. Even Morocco, from Morocco, so like all North African countries are known. Language and symbols. There are languages, there are symbols like the ones that we can see on the screen. There are a lot of symbols on the screen, so those are indeed parts of culture. Yeah. Let me show you, by the way, one of the elements of Moroccan culture, like one of the symbols. Thank you for reminding me that symbols exist and are a main part of culture. This is a very famous like Moroccan symbol. Um, right. Let me show you. Right. I'm gonna show you like different. Okay, so this is a very known symbol in our culture, in Moroccan Amazigh culture, and this is known Greek symbols. Very good point, Pamela. So each culture will have its own set of symbols that like make that culture special. Habits, absolutely, yes, the habits, materials as well. Great, yep, absolutely. These are all parts and elements of what culture is. Material and food, great. Yes, food is one. Food is one. Well, we'll see, by the way, there is another word that we use to describe the food of a certain culture. Food, Lee, bio, great. Yeah. Food is also another type of or another part of cultures. Food, habits, by the way. So for habits, we can also say when they are about culture, when we talk about cultural habits, we are talking about what we call traditions. Okay, traditions. So anything that is tradition, it's part of a certain culture. We say this is a tradition. It's the all right. This is it. So it's traditions. Clothes. I agree with you, Pamela. I agree with you. Yeah, clothes. Very good. So, by the way, so if you want to um, if you want to know what are the elements of culture, think about the things that you learned from your parents, because culture is not something that we are born with. It's something that we learn in our society. For example, if we take, let's say, language, for example. Let's take language. Language is not something that we are born with. So you need to hear the language so that you can speak that language. If we take someone from Morocco and he is born in France, he won't be speaking Moroccan unless he is spoken to in Moroccan or in Darija. But in France, they will speak French because that's the language that they are exposed to. So language basically is one thing that we learn and that we are not born with. Okay. The same thing for traditions. Traditions is not something that we are born with. We learn the traditions from our society. I can say the same thing also about religion. Religion is a very important part of culture because it is not something that we are born with, but rather it is something that we learn in our language, in our society. Okay, I will go to the next slide, and in the next slides, we are going to look at some pictures and try to find or try to guess what is the element of culture that we are looking at. So let us start with the first one. So this is the first one. So the first one is the special food in a culture. I know you guys are thinking about food right now, the word food, but actually there is another word that we can use to refer to the special food in a certain country. For example, um, Italy is known for some special food like pizza, for example, or like spaghetti. But if we go to Mexico, we will find a different type of food served there. For example, they have taco, they have nachos, etc., etc. The same thing if we go to Asia, if we go to Lee, if Lee, for example, invites us to Thailand or Taiwan, and we want to try some of their food, we will find a different type of food. Great. The same thing for Raghda, I think. Raghda, if she invites us to Egypt, we'll find different kind of food, like fool, I think. Fool midamis, if I'm not mistaken. Pamela as well. Pamela, if Pamela invites us. So what do we call the special type of food in a culture? What do we call it? Do you know the word in English? There is a special word in English for food that is unique to a certain country. Does anyone know? If anyone here knows, I will give you 1 point. Do you want 1 point? All right, I will reveal it. The word is cuisine. Cuisine. So cuisine, it refers to the type of food served in a certain country. For example, let me write for you an example in the chat. I like Italian cuisine. For example, I like Italian cuisine. Okay, so here I'm talking about the type of food that Italian people make. All right, I can also say British cuisine is awful. I'm so sorry for the British, for our British friends here. But this is what this is the stereotype. I don't believe in it, but this is the stereotype in Europe that the British can't cook well. Okay, so I'm sorry for that. It's just a joke, but I just want also to demonstrate how can we use the word cuisine in a sentence. All right. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Let me hide this comment. So what is this? So it's our way of communication. What do we call it in English? What do we call the way human beings, people communicate with each other? What do we call that? What do we call it? Very interesting. What do we call it? What do you guys think we call the way human beings talk and communicate with each other? It must be a very difficult word, not something that we are learning right now. Symbols. Sure, sure. We can, but symbols, it refers to writing, Pamela. But I totally agree with you. If we are talking about writing, we definitely talk about symbols. But otherwise, very simply, we are talking about language. Language is an important part of our culture, right? What makes me, for example, a Moroccan, one of the things that make me Moroccan is that I speak Moroccan Darija. Okay, this is what's our language called. Or maybe what makes a Spanish people Spanish is that they speak Spanish. One of the things, of course, is that they speak Spanish. In addition to other things, what are your languages, guys, called? So for my native language, it's called Darija. Okay, this is my native language. What about you guys? What is your native language? So this is mine. Mine is called Darija. It is the native language in Morocco. It is a mixture of Arabic and the Amazigh, which is a native language also in North Africa, and a mixture of French, Spanish. So it's a mixture of a lot of languages. Okay, my language is just a mixture of a lot of languages. It's like a Frankenstein monster, but it's a very communicative language. We like to talk a lot. We yap a lot. as they say, as people like youngsters these days say. Yeah, what are your languages, guys, called? Pamela, what is your native language? Or the rest of you guys watching us? I have 14 people here. What are your native languages? Tell me what is your native language in the chat. Can you tell me what is your native language called? I would love to know. How do you call your native language? Come on, no one would love to share their native language. Oh, all right. I can't hear. I can't read that. Can you please write for me the word in like using Latin symbols if you don't mind? Because I can't read these symbols. They sound interesting for me. They look interesting. But unfortunately, I can't read them. So can you like type them for me in Latin so that I can uh, read them at least? Like, what are the sounds that you use in this word? What are the sounds? If it's ma, for example, write for me this ma. If it's d, write for me d like this. So if you can do that, I really appreciate it. Yeah. So the question, guys, for those of you who maybe have just joined, so today we are talking about culture. And we are talking about some of the components of culture, like language. And I'm asking you, the question that I ask is, what do you call your native language? So, your native language. Or also, we say your mother tongue. Your mother tongue. Both these words refer to the language that you have learned. Uh, Hamza, hello, welcome. So this refers to the language that you have learned as a kid, as a little child. So we call it your native language or your mother tongue as well. We use both these words. So anyone? Kinyarda. Oh wow, that's look very like interesting. Kinyarda. Let me type it. Kinyarda. Interesting. Kinyarda language. Interesting. It's spoken by 18 million people. Wow. Kinyarwanda. All right. Wow. Well, that's very interesting. I'm very interested. Zongwen. Okay. Okay. Hamza, hello to you again. Where are you from? Where are you joining us from, Hamza? So, Li Bio's language is called Songwen, and Pamela's native language is called Kinyarda. Very interesting. All right, this is another component. This is another element of language, which is belief systems. What do we call what you believe in? The things that you believe in. What do we call them? How do we call them? What is the word I'm looking for here? It's a very simple word. Does anyone know the word? Does anyone want to help me find the word? I will appreciate it. What is the word I'm looking for here? Hmm. Great, Pamela. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The word I'm from Turkey. Welcome, welcome. So your native language is Turkish then. Great. Okay, so yeah, this one is religion for sure. So this is religion. So our belief systems, what we believe in. So again, when we talk about culture, we are talking about a lot of things like cuisine. The cuisine refers to the special food that is made in your country. The second thing is your language. What language are you speaking in your country? And the third, we have religion. What do you believe in? Are you a Muslim? Are you a Christian? Are you a Jewish? Are you a Buddhist? Are you a Hinduist? Right? Things like this. Artistic expressions. What do we call this type of artistic expressions that we can find in a certain language? So, what do we call this? Traditions, sure. It includes like like a lot of rhythms. Okay, it includes a lot of rhythms, a lot of movement as well. You can see it on the picture. Tradition. We can say tradition. I agree. We can say tradition, but we can also say this. These are basically. This is basically music and dancing. Music and dancing. Music and dancing are actually a very important part of any culture. So we have music and dancing or dancing. So each culture they have their different type of dances, right? For example, for Spain, for Spain, for Spain they have they have the flamenco, right? For whoever is from Spain, let us know. Do you play some flamenco? It's a very interesting dance, flamenco. Um, in Morocco, we have, for example, oh yeah, for Morocco we have these people. They are called Gnawa. Let me show them to you. All right, so this is for Spain. So for Spain, they have flamenco. This is the flamenco that they have in Spain. It's a very beautiful artistic dance. And for us in Morocco, we have this. It's like it's called gnawa. It's a special type of music, and also it is accompanied by some very interesting dances. So music and dancing is absolutely a very important part of our cultures. Let us move to the next thing. Let's find out what is the next thing. Clothes. Of course, any culture they have, or any country, they have their own special type of food that or food. I'm very hungry. So sorry, I'm very hungry. So yeah, they have special type of clothes that they wear. All right, and this is what we call costumes, right? Costumes. So for Morocco, let me share with you. I'm doing a lot of like publicity for my country today, so you can share with us. For example, if we are talking about dances, share with us some dances from your country. What is the name of some dances? You know what? I will go back. I'm going back to dances. Can you tell us what is some special type of music or dancing that you have in your country? For example, in my country, we have Gnawa, for example. We have Shabi also. It's a very, very special type of music that we have, and also dancing. Uh, we have Andalusi as well. It's music, it's not. Yeah, so we have Gnawa, we have Shabi, we have Andalusi, etc., etc. All right. So these are some special types of yeah, clothes as well. So clothes, we have jalaba in Morocco. What about you guys? What do you call the clothes in your country? The traditional clothes. What do you guys have? This is what we have in Morocco. So this is the special type of clothes that people wear in our culture. Especially old men. Or wear it especially also on like special occasions. This is what we wear. Can you say traditional clothes? Of course we can, Pamela. Absolutely. We can say traditional clothes. I agree with you. Yeah. We can simply say traditional clothes. Costumes is also a very acceptable word. But traditional clothes is also correct. It is a word that we can say. So we can say Moroccan traditional clothes, Spanish traditional clothes, Greek traditional clothes, etc. Okay, African traditional clothes. What do you call clothes, traditional clothes in your country? For us, as I showed you, this is called jalaba in Darija, right? This is called a jalaba here in Morocco. What about you guys? How do you call your clothes? Anyone? I feel like the interaction today is like very slow. I see that people are in the middle of the week, so they're like no energy to speak, and I totally understand it. So that's why I'm just going little by little. We're going very slowly, okay? We're going very slowly. Yeah, so that's why. But I hope there is like more interaction in the chat. I hope you guys will share with us your opinions. There is nothing wrong, nothing correct today, so it's just like facts. We will just share facts about our cultures. No one would love to share the name of their clothes? Okay. The story of your country. Yeah, this is also part of your culture, is your story, the story of your country. What do we call the story of a country? The story of a country. How do we call that in English? The story of your country. The story of your country. How do we call that? Anyone would love to share with us what is the word? The story of your country. This is the word I'm looking for. All right, I think I will share it. It's very simply your history. So your history is basically part of your culture, right? It's part of your culture. Special buildings in your country. Any country will have a special building. For example, in Italy, they have this Pizza Tower or Pisa Tower. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I think it's Pisa Tower. If there are any Italians here, please correct me if I'm wrong. So it's called the Pisa Tower. We have the Statue of Liberty in the United States. And we have, for example, Taj Mahal, I think, Taj Mahal in India. All right. So how do we call these special buildings? Every country will have its own special building. In Morocco, we have this one. We have a lot actually. We have a lot of these buildings. One of them is Hassan II Mosque, and it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, mosque in Africa. Right? It's the biggest mosque in Africa, and I think the third biggest mosque in the world. It's a huge mosque. I've seen it once or twice in my life, and it's absolutely a huge mosque. It's like very big. Okay, all right. A foundation story. Someone, hello, someone. We can say foundation story, or we can say, like Angela said, it's our history, the history of your country. Great. Now I'm starting to get some more interaction. Thank you, guys. Yeah, what do we call the special buildings in your country? So I think there is just like a little delay, so I guess I should wait after asking a question. So after I ask a question, I think I should wait a little bit for you guys to get to answer it in the chat. Understandable. So I will wait for this one as well. So I will wait for you to tell me, what do we call special buildings, like special cultural buildings in your country? And if you have any, you can share with us the names. I will look it up very quickly in Google, and then I will share it on this live stream. So I will wait. What do we call special buildings in your country? How do we call that? Fairy tale. Oh wow, not really Levi, because a fairy tale is an imaginary story, but a history, like Angela said, history, it's a real thing that really happened. For example, the history of the United States, it's not imaginary, it's true, it happened. Okay, the same thing for the history of, let's say, your country, Taiwan, for example. Your history, it's not fairy tale, it's not imaginary, it's true, it happened indeed in real life. Okay, so I hope you understand this difference. So we have fairy tales, it's just imaginary stories. The Great Wall of China, that's a very, very interesting one. Yep, great. The Great Wall of China, yeah, the Great Wall. Very interesting monuments, by the way. It's mind blowing. It's big, it's long, it's like, how did they build that? You always look at it and like, how did these people build that? especially in the past. Like it, yeah, it's very, very intriguing. This is the Great Wall of China. It's absolutely one of the buildings I'm looking for today. Kigali Convention Center. Let me look it up. Let me look it up. Kigali Convention Center. It looks like it. Interesting. It's in Rwanda. Wow, what a shape. What a shape. Its shape is very interesting. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Thank you guys for sharing with me your special buildings. So yeah, look at this. Pamela shared with us this. I really love it. I really love it. Interesting. Even inside, the inside is very, very wow. All right. So let me share with you the name that we call these special buildings or special like buildings, yes, that we have in our culture. We call them monuments. Monuments. Okay? We call them monuments. So a monument like the Great Wall of China or Kigali Convention Center or Hassan II Mosque or Eiffel Tower in France or the Statue of Liberty in the United States, these are called monuments. Monuments. Okay, let us move on to the next thing then. Yeah, good behavior. Good behavior. Every culture has its own good behavior that we love to do. For example, I remember one message. Where is that one? Yes. For example, Aragda here says that Egyptians are known for hospitality. They are known for their hospitality. Okay. Hospitality is one good behavior that we can do in our culture, right? Let me share with you these. For example, helping the elderly, old people, helping old people, charity, giving to the poor people, tolerance, like living together with other people, and friendship, which is like to have a friend or be nice with someone else. These are examples of what we call in English values or manners. Values or manners. So every country, every culture, they will have their own manners. Let me see, Hamza. On which days do you broadcast live and at what time? Very good answer, Hamza. So the question, the answer is we broadcast every Wednesday and Saturday at 3 at 3 p.m. Okay, 3 p.m. GMT time. All right, GMT time. But later it will change to GMT plus one. So this is when we live stream. And by the way, since I'm talking about our channel, I want to share with you also that if you go to our website, wooenglish.com, let me share it with you. This is our website. So if you go to wooenglish.com, you will be able to, this is the website on top, I have it here. You can download like free ebooks. So if you go to ebooks here, this is ebooks. And if you go to, so you can navigate our ebooks based on your level. So imagine you are beginner or starter, you can go to starter here. And if you click on it, you will find the, for example, Tom's Big Day Out. This is a free ebook, okay? If you click on it, you will be able to download it for free. If you go here, you will have the button download. If I click download, it will be downloaded, but I already have it, so I'm not going to download it again, right? So you can download these books for absolutely free. You don't have to pay. So you can download it for free. And the very good thing is that if you go to our YouTube channel, you can find these books in audio format. So you can read the book and at the same time you can listen to it. Okay, you can do both things at the same time. All right, so that's that. Of course, please, I want to also remind you to like the video, right? Please, if you are having a great time right now, please make sure to like the video, because when you like the video, more people will come. The video is suggested to more people, it's recommended to more people. They will come, they can join our interaction, they can have some fun with us. All right, so I hope you can do that. Also in some cultures, so let me share with you my screen again. For those of you probably who haven't been with us from the very beginning, We are talking today about culture. How can we talk about culture? Let me share with you the first slide. Yes, so today we are talking about culture. How can you talk about culture? We looked at different parts of culture, like language, like manners, like food, and yeah, we are just like still talking. So we are talking about bad behavior. Bad behavior is what we can call issues sometimes. So some cultures sometimes they can have some issues. Let's take the United States as an example. The United States, they have a lot of example like racism, a lot of problems like racism, for example, clashes between people of different races. We also, in some cultures, we have inequality. Some people are treated better than other people. These are what we call issues. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. So before we move on, can you guys remind me of what we have talked about so far? What are the elements of culture that we have covered to this point? We covered like seven elements of culture. Can you remind me of them in the chat? What are the elements of culture that we talked about? I will start. I will start. We have the first one. We said for special food in a country, or let me start with language. Since I'm teaching you language, I'm gonna say language. So this is one element of culture. Can you share with us some more elements of culture? What are some other elements in culture that you guys know about? Mhm. Please, if you are watching the live, try to scroll to the end of the live stream because I think you guys are watching it a little bit late. There is a big delay between when I speak and when you guys answer. So if you can do that, if you can scroll like to the end of the video, that will be fantastic. Uh, I don't understand your message. You're a cause. I don't understand it, Pamela. I'm sorry, but I don't understand the message. Can you explain to us what you mean? No one. No one would love to remind us of what are the elements of culture that we have seen so far. Come on. So we have seen, for example, language. We have seen cuisine. We have seen, for example, clothes. We have seen religion. Okay, these are all elements of culture that we learn when we are young. All right, so let me move on. I think so. Let me share with you my screen then. All right. So I will share with you some more vocabulary, three more vocabulary items. First one, table manners. So this time we will switch it, right? So I will give you the word and you need to tell me what does it mean. In your opinion, guys, what does the word table manners mean? The word table manners. It's my first time being here, but I get great, absolutely. Zari, great. If this is your first time, so thank you. So it's my first time here, being here, but I guess one would be food, dress, history. Absolutely. Yes, those are elements of culture that we have talked about. Very good. Meaning is to thank. Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you. So Yorakoze, it means, or Yorakose, am I pronouncing it correctly? Means thanks in my mother tongue. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, Yorakose for your word that you taught me. Is it Orakose or I don't know how to pronounce it, but I love the word. It sounds very beautiful. Yes. So what do you guys think we mean by table manners? Table manners. It has the word table in it, so does it have to do with food? Maybe. I don't know. Behavior during the meal. Angela, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Let me share with you the answer. So it's the acceptable behavior you need to show while eating. Okay. So, for example, eating with your mouth closed. This is closed. This is one example of table manners. Don't speak while you are eating. So swallow and then you can speak. Okay. Or don't chew, don't eat with your mouth open, right? Close your mouth when you are chewing. Yes, these are some good table manners. Great. So it's the acceptable behavior during a meal. Right? Okay. Culture shock. Culture shock. What is a culture shock, guys? What do you think? What do you think a culture shock is? It has culture, it has shock. So what does that mean? Anyone? I see a lot of sleepers in the chat today. uh, we thank the host. We are done. After we are done, we thank the host. Of course, we should thank the person who invited us over a meal. That's part of your culture or of your table manners, I say. Yeah. Okay. So culture shock, guys, is when you go to a different culture and you see something that you are not used to, all right, that is different from what from your culture, and you feel shocked. Okay, you feel shocked. That's one thing that a lot of people who go to different countries they feel. So culture shock is the feeling of disorientation when we are in a new culture and see something strange to us. It's a very bad feeling, actually, is to feel this culture shock. All right. So culture shock is when you are in a new culture and you see something that you are not familiar with. Okay. Melting pot. Melting pot. So melting pot is basically it's a culture that has a lot of races. It's a mixed culture, a culture where there are a lot of people from different origins. For example, the USA is often called a melting pot because in the United States there are Mexicans, there are Arabs, there are Indians, there are like Pakistanis, there are Europeans, there are Native Americans. So there are a lot of culture. So we call it a melting pot. A melting pot. Okay. Uh, Shock to understand it. Of course, Pamela, I can give you an example of a culture shock. Let me see. Let me see. Um, all right. So maybe if you go to certain countries during Ramadan and you find that people are eating, maybe some people can be shocked. Or if you let me see. Let me see. Let me find for you a better example. Let me find for you. Oh yeah, I've got for you an example, and I'm so sorry for people in China if there are any Chinese people here. A lot of people will be shocked if they go to China and they find that people there very normally eat cats and dogs, right? In certain countries, it is very normal to eat cats and dogs. But if someone goes from Europe or from the United States and visit those countries, they will feel shocked because in the United States or in Europe, normally we don't eat cats and dogs. So I hope it's clear for you, Pamela. I hope it's clear now. I think this is a very clear example of a culture shock. When you go to some Asian countries and you find that they eat cats and dogs, while in some other countries they don't eat cats and dogs. Okay. So I hope this is a very good example and clear example of a culture shock. For the last example or for the last exercise, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share with you some I'm going to share with you some behavior, and what I want you to do is tell me if this behavior is acceptable in your culture or not. Is this acceptable in your culture or not? So, for example, wearing shoes indoors, is this acceptable in your culture or not? Tell me just yes or no. Yes or no in the chat. Come on. So, wearing shoes inside the house, is this normal in your culture or no? Okay, so Zari says no. Pamela says no. It's not normal. It's not normal. Also for Angela. Angela, which country are you from? Which country are you from? I understand that Zari is from Iran. I think Pamela, if I remember well, Pamela, I hope I remember well, but I think you are from Rwanda, I think, or Eritrea, one of these two countries. What about you, Angela? Lee Bayo says this is normal in his culture. GCA, it's normal. GCA, are you from the United States? Because in the United States, it's very normal to wear Haiti. Okay. It's very close to the United States, no? And by the way, GCA, how are things in Haiti? Because I've seen that there is a lot of unrest, a lot of battles in the Belarus. From Rwanda. Okay, great. So I have a good memory. Belarus near Russia. I know the country. Entertainment Baba, hi. Where have you been? Yeah, let's eating with hands instead of utensils. By utensils, I mean spoons and forks. So spoons are forks. A lot of people they eat with spoons and forks, but in other cultures they eat with their hands, right? Is it normal to eat with your hands in your culture? Is this normal? Eating with your hands, is this normal in your culture or is this not normal in your culture? No, it's not normal. Okay. It's not normal. Wow. No, again, Zari, it's not no. Don't eat it with your hands. Entertainment Baba says it's normal for them to eat with their hands. Pamela says no, this is not normal in your culture. It's not acceptable to eat with your hands. In Morocco, we have only one meal. In Morocco, we also don't use our hands, but we have one meal where we use our hands, and it's this. It's called the couscous. Okay, we eat it with our hands, but mostly for me, for example, I never eat with my hand. I eat with a spoon, right? We eat it with a spoon. But for old people, especially old people, they like to eat it with their hands. We use chopsticks. Yes, interesting. I'm always interested in how different cultures are. Like we have the same discussion, the same chat, but different cultures. I really love it. I really love it. Diversity is a great and beautiful thing. Not only normal, but also is a good thing according to culture in India. Wow. Okay. To eat with your hands. Interesting. Well, the thing for me is that if you are eating alone, I think it's okay. But for me, yes, most people in Morocco are Muslims. It is the religion of our country. So in our culture, I think because we love to eat from the same plate. So for a lot of people, they don't like that because if you put your hand in the food and there is another person in the same, like putting his hand in the same food, some people might not like it. Whoa, like did you wash your hands? Did you wash your hands before you eat? Right. So they will be very very questionable about your hygiene. Using first names when addressing elders, like old people. Maria, Maria, hello, hello, hello. How are you? So please, guys, don't forget to like the video because I think we are like getting to more people, but it's very late. We are almost over. Yeah. So what's this? Wait. Uh, Using first names when addressing elders. Can you call your father by his name? or your mother by her name? By Saad, elder brother. Interesting. Is that a nickname or can you call them by their first names? I like eating with people in the same place. Yeah, we do that in Morocco a lot, so you will love Morocco, Pamela. I think this is an African thing. In Africa, most people like to share food from the same dish, from the same plate. Can you call your parents with their first name? Can you say, "Hey, John," and they will be, "What are you saying? You should call me father or dad or whatever you call your father." Can you call, not nickname? So what is it? Is it the first name, or this is the word for your elder brother? So for entertainment, father pitaji. All right, this is how you call them, or this is the word in English. I see, I see, I see now. I see. So you are teaching us some Indian right now. Just dear mom or dear dad. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So you can't call them. I think this is not acceptable in most cultures. Like in most cultures, we call your mother your mom or mom or ma. In and father, you can call him like father or dad. But do you call them with their first name? Like you say, "Hey John" or "Hey Lee." Can your kids say "Hey Lee"? Can your kids call you Lee? Just Lee. Lee, I want some money. Lee, I want to go out with my friends. Greeting with a hug instead of handshake. Can you hug people when you meet them? Can you hug people when you meet them? In your culture, can you hug people, like hug them when you meet them? Mom and dad. So for Pamela, she calls her father and mother mom and dad. So you can't call them. I understand that you can't call them by their names. Can you hug people? Can you hug people like this? Hug people if you meet them? Is that acceptable in your culture? If I go to your culture, shall I be hugging people like this? Or shall I just be like shaking your hands? Yes, close relatives. This is normally what we do. Yeah. Normally, we only hug people that are close to us, like our father, mother, and daddy. Right. You can hug them. Depends. Depends on what, Zari. Can you give us some more information? Aga, Amin Balondi. Bolandi, right. Aga. Okay. Hello to you too. Hello to you too. Welcome. What are you joining us from? Lee says no. No. You can't call or you can't hug people that you have just met. You can't hug people. Let me show you how we Moroccans greet. Let me see. In Morocco, we do a lot of things. So we do handshake, like I'm gonna show you in a moment. Oh, I found the picture. Wow, great. So we have handshakes. We can hug in Morocco. We do hug, but also we do this thing. It's a very interesting thing, by the way. Is that we touch our cheeks. So we touch our cheeks like this. You touch my cheek, I touch your cheek with my cheek, and you touch my cheek with your cheek, right? So we touch cheeks like this, as you can see in the picture, right? Um, there are, especially in Asian cultures, they you are not supposed to like. All right, I'm gonna show you a very weird one. I found it weird. I find it a little bit strange, but again, this is like we should respect other people's cultures. But it for me, it's this is a culture shock, like a culture shock. Let me go back here. With close relatives and friends, yes, but first time meeting, no. This is yeah, this is the case in a lot of cultures. Yes, the news are bad in the capital part of France, that are France, that are located in the center of the country, but they are talking now. I hope everything is good in Haiti. I hope everything is good for you. I hope you guys are safe. I really hope, because there is some unrest in Haiti. This is what GCA is talking about. This is like some fights going on in Haiti. So I hope everything is good with you guys. Of course, because Li Bu is from Taiwan, so of course things are different there. Can your parents kiss in your country? No, 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 no. Absolutely. Not on the lips, of course. Not on the lips. You can't kiss people on the lips in front of other people. This is a no-no in Morocco because we are a Muslim country, right? You can like just like this, right? Let me show you one. This is in some Arabian countries. They greet with their nose, right? They greet with their nose, right? So they touch with their nose like this, right? You touch my nose, I touch yours. It's the same for us. We touch our cheek. So you touch my cheek, I touch your cheek on the other side. You touch my cheek again, etc., etc. Right? Um, while in most Asian countries, you don't touch the person. You don't touch. There is no touching. It's basically just you bow like this. You bow. So you just like bow to the other person, right? You just bow to them. All right. You don't touch them. Don't touch them. Right? They don't like to be touched. The other region, the life is normal. Thanks that you're thinking about our country. We need prayer from everybody. Well, our prayers go to you guys. We really hope, and we really hope. I will take like this very like this tiny moment. I really hope things are good in wherever. There was an earthquake in Taiwan. We hope those people are safe. There is some unrest in Haiti. We hope those people are safe. There is war going on in Sudan. We hope those people are safe. And there is a huge, huge war going on in Gaza as well. So we really hope that there will be peace there soon, and we hope those people are going to be like safe very soon because what's going on there is absolutely barbaric. Unfortunately, yeah, it's very sad what's going on there. They feel breathe of each other. Probably, yeah. When they are touching nose, they like probably they hear. They can breathe next to each other. Right, very interesting comment. Next, let's go on. Let's go on. It's our duty, GCA, as like human beings. We should be nice to each other. But unfortunately, this is not what we see in the world right now. Sorry, I had to mute my microphone because there was a motorbike passing by my house. Okay, let's see some more things. Sitting cross-legged in a formal meeting. Let me show you what I mean by cross-legged. Cross-legged. This is what we mean by sitting cross-legged, like this. Is this okay in your culture? Can people sit like this in your culture? By the way, there are cultures that don't like this. They say, especially women, they say women shouldn't sit like this. I don't know why. I don't know why, to be honest. Taiwan is a great country. Najee, call it my opinion. Great. Lee thanks you for that. Great. Just keep praying peace for the whole world every night, especially when you are breaking my fast in Ramadan. Thank you for that, Zari. Yeah. The world really needs some peace, needs some prayer, needs some fixing. It's uh Pamela, I don't know why. I don't know. That's what's weird. They just say, hey, you are a woman, you can't sit like this. Just yes. Crossing legs, it's okay. GCA, it's okay for people to cross their legs. Entertainment, Baba, it's okay for people to cross their legs. For women, great, great. All power to them. All power to them. We should make or should we should allow women to do what they want and what they feel comfortable doing. It's very sad that some cultures they try to like control everybody. And by the way, also in some cultures they say women shouldn't sit like this. Like they shouldn't sit with their feet opened as well, like this. In some cultures, you shouldn't sit like this. You shouldn't sit with your legs open like this, okay? Because they consider that very disrespectful if you sit in front of them with your legs. Make direct contact with during conversation. Can I look you in the eyes if I'm talking to you, or does your culture like I should be doing like this? I should like be lowering my eyes. What does your culture suggest? Can I do this? Is this acceptable? Yes or no? Making direct eye contact, especially with your father and your mother. Can you make eye contact with your parents? Can you do that? Tell me. Can you do that? Can you make direct eye contact with your parents? Like, can you look your parents in the eyes? Like, if you are speaking to your father and the hey father, I wanted to talk to you about something. I need some money. I want to buy this thing. Can you do that? Yes, but I'm quite unlucky. Why are you unlucky? Entertainment bubble. Why is that? Why do you consider yourself an unlucky person? Why? Because it's difficult for me. It's fine. It's okay. Making eye contact can be very difficult. I totally understand that. Yeah, it can be very difficult sometimes. All right. Making eye contact. Is that a yes, yes, or a no, no? How about in your culture? How should you sit? In my culture, actually, we consider it irrespectful if you open your legs like this. This is this. I don't like this. This is no. Like people don't like it if you do this. You should sit with your legs like next to each other. Don't open like too much. But for crossing legs, I think it's okay for both men and women. I think it's okay. Can we look at the next thing? Not removing shoes before entering the house. I think this is the first one. Like, should you remove your shoes or should you not? This is we already talked about. Bringing gifts when visiting someone's home. Is this acceptable? If I bring a gift, if you invite me, should I bring a gift to you, or it's okay if I just come, eat your food, and go away? Shall I bring a gift or no? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Zari. We are having a live stream on Saturday as well, so I hope we'll see you then. Removing strictly, so you should you remove it. Okay. Acceptable. Bringing gifts, not to women. With my parents, no. You can't look them in the eyes. I think you are talking about looking in the eyes, or is it the way you're sitting? Which one is it? All right. So these were very basically some like some examples of things that we have in different cultures. I think we can stop here because I think we learned enough about culture today. So I think I will stop here. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I hope you have benefited. I would say maybe for one more minute, if you guys have like any questions that you want to ask me, anything that you didn't understand and you want me to explain, or if you want to share with us anything at this point. So I would stay here for a little bit. 1 minute. Can you share with us any questions or anything interesting about your cultures before I close the session? If you have a question, I'm here to answer it. If you have a something to share, I'm also here to learn. Okay, good night. Good night. Here it's the afternoon in Morocco, but I love you guys too. Thank you. Thank you so much. Love from Morocco. Love back to your way from Morocco. Really, really. I love the love that is going on here. All right. I think no comments, no questions. So I think we can just stop or yeah. All right. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you guys for being here and for the amazing energy that you always give me. You can still rewatch our videos later on. They will be with translation if you watch it after the streaming is done, is over. So make sure to go through our videos, also our stories that we always share. Thank you so much. See you on Saturday. We will have a grammar lesson on Saturday.